Hi, I'm Lynn the Wicked, and here with me on my channel today are two very special guests, Jacob and Bubba. So Jacob and I made Bubba for a local LARP, which is a live-action role-playing game. So to make Bubba's torso, I started out with couch foam, the squishy green stuff you can find at like your local Joann's or craft store. And I started that as the skeleton base, which worked out pretty well at bulking out the form. And then fur on top of that, except for the hard foam on his face and chest, was actually done with the insulation spray foam that you can get at like Lowe's or Home Depot. I forget which one I got it from. I essentially just spray foamed the general shape that I wanted and then carved it down from there. And all of this is faux fur, and his teeth up here are made with super Sculpey. But that's not the ideal. I wanted to use like a foam clay, but I couldn't get my hands on that. So this is a temporary solution. They will get replaced. And of course he's got some plastic horns up here that have been painted.
So from here, I saw this wonderful creation. And I got an immediate, it's almost like a vibe from the style of monster I was thinking it would be. And of course with him having a tail, you can't just do a straight standing monster that has a big old tail. So I immediately started thinking hunched forward raptors and death claws and xenomorphs, something aggressive and predatory.
Yeah.
But with all of those, they have different legs. The stilts themselves, they're really essentially like heels. Before you put the hinge and everything else on, you're making wooden heels. You actually took quite a bit of video of me.
I did.
She came downstairs, saw me making the first one, and then said, you have to stop. And I'm going to get the camera.
Yeah. Prepare to be on my YouTube. That's essentially how that conversation went.
So I'm sorry.
If you would like to make stilts of your own for your own local LARP or for Halloween or for a Tuesday at the grocery store, there will be a full video of how Jacob made these on my Patreon with a list of all of the materials used, and you'll get to see this guy again if you go over there and watch it.
I'm sorry.
Not sorry.
I'll also go into describing why I made certain choices, suggestions on where you could potentially improve on my design after I've used these in a LARP. But I couldn't stop myself there. So he needed to not just have the intimidating face, he needed something to threaten you with. And what's more threatening than claws?
But they couldn't just be cool looking, they also had to be safe. Because in LARP, you're actually battling people. You're going to actually be hitting people with these claws. So sometimes aesthetic has to be sacrificed for safety in LARP.
And we don't want to be sending players to the hospital.
No. We want to scare the crap out of them. We don't want to disembowel them.
So, under very tight time constraints.
Oh yeah, we had a really tight deadline. You made these in, I think you had 2 afternoons, if that, to bust these out.
Yeah.
While I was sewing the pants.
Yeah, so full day of work, come home, work on this. Next day, full day of work, came home, worked on this, went to bed.
I'm pretty proud of Bubba, but if we had more time, I fantasize about what we could have done. But I still think
I fantasized halfway through. I finished one of these and was like, wow, I could have done so much more.
But the general design, I think, is spectacular what you did with the claws.
Internally, I started with this piece of plywood, where I cut out a hole to slip my hand through it. And the general idea and concept of it holding in on my palm like that was actually because of virtual reality controllers. They'll actually, the more recent ones will strap to your hand so you can open and close your hand while you're playing and it won't drop the controller.
Oh, that's smart.
So if I stick my hand through and then I take a strap around the back of it, need another hand. I got it. And then it straps that to there. I can, with my hand wide open, hold this comfortably. And it will keep solid, so I can actually swipe at players. With safety in mind, I have some PVC tubes for a little bit of reinforcement here, but they stop right here. Everything else is foam.
This is EVA foam, right?
Yep.
And then what's this?
This is just couch cushion foam.
Oh my gosh. One last thing before we say our traditional little YouTube goodbyes here and I tell you to subscribe. I actually really want to talk about Bubba's eyes. I had always planned for an eyeless monster. This is the second monster I've ever made. The first one I ever made, like, I struggled with the eyes. And on this one, I was like, no eyes. I don't want you to, like, emote with him at all. I want it completely to be through his physicality. I don't want you looking for his eyes. I want no eyes. But I did play around with some googly eyes of various sizes.
I remember these pictures.
If I can find the pictures, I'm going to insert them here because I took pictures and sent them to the entire LARP team that we work with. And it was everything.
It was pretty fabulous.
Yeah. And I think they proved the point of, like, Bubba couldn't have eyes. At least not
Absolutely.
googly eyes. So we didn't cover all of the details of how we made Bubba. If you have a question, please let me know in the comments and we'll respond. And
some of them may be me, some of them may be her. Leave it up to you to figure it out.
Are you logging into my channel and I'm not looking? Is that what you're threatening?
I can log into your computer.
Alright. You will never know who's replying. Well, we plan to make more monsters together in future, and if you're interested in seeing that, or interested in any of my other videos where I make costumes and props, and sometimes I do random creative things, please hit that subscribe button. We'd be happy to have you join us on this adventure.
You should. She's wonderful.
Bye.